I will now ask Shri Ashit Ghosh, our Chief of Faculty at Rtambhara, to introduce Shri Ishwaranji. Over to you, Ashitji.
Thank you, Vinaji. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm highly privileged for being given this task of introducing a saintly being who is the speaker of this evening. Before I do that, I want to ask you a question. Can you tell me one thing that is the cause of most of the miseries, troubles, and sufferings of our life? I do not know what is your answer, but for me, that thing is expectation, quote unquote. I've always been a victim of this over expectation and paid my price in my life. So I remember one of my teachers a long time ago had said, Ashit, expectation is directly proportionate to depression. But all said and done, however much we want to get rid of it, it's very difficult. We all have expectations, and that happens to be the topic of this evening. How to manage expectation. So today's topic is explore expectation. In order to do justice to this high value topic, we have an esteemed speaker. Rtambhara has invited a very special person who is absolutely qualified and competent to handle this subject. Ladies and gentlemen, this wonderful being has been practicing Vedanta for the last 25 years. He is a spiritualist and a Vedantist. And his guru is one of the most prominent and revered saint and philosopher in the stature of Swami Parthasarathy. Personally, this gentleman is educated in the field of psychotherapy. He has got a PhD degree in this subject. So he's able to blend, he's able to integrate psychology in one hand and philosophy in another hand. And by dint of his knowledge and expertise in the Vedantic doctrine, I find that he has addressed a large number of multinationals and national companies. I've got a big list, so it's not relevant to mention the names of those companies right now. But many of the managers, promoters, and the employees have benefited from his talks. So ladies and gentlemen, I am very sure that you are excited. Many of you have had the privilege of listening to him before. So I'm going to be listening to him for the first time. And as you can see, I'm extremely excited. So without wasting much time, may I have your permission to invite the speaker of this evening, who is none other than Dr. Ishwaran. Over to you, Dr. Ishwaran.
Thank you, Rasitji. Now we have about 45 minutes to explore our expectations. That's the topic for the day. Now, what we see here is, in life, it's impossible for us to live without expectations. At the same time, we were told, or we were to understanding that it is expectations that is causing so much of problems. I'm not going into that aspect. What all the problems will come because of that, we'll see that little later. So now we are wondering what to do with it. So that's why I titled it as let's explore it. Now, more than I'm going to be offering any solutions here, we are just going to be exploring here. That's about it. I'm not going to be giving you any specific solutions as to what is it that you are supposed to do, because the solution is the topic. Now, how do you handle your expectations? Explore it. By exploring that, you arrive at something. Again, explore it. You arrive. That is how you go about dealing with your expectations. Now, to give a pattern or to give you an idea of how that exploration should happen or would happen in life is what I'm attempting today, this 45 minutes. And let's see what is this effect of expectations in life. You see, when you have an expectation, there are only two possibilities are there. Either your expectations are met or your expectations are not met. Either it is fulfilled or it is unfulfilled. Now imagine a scenario of life where your expectations are met, because when your expectations are not met, all of us understand life. Correct. When my expectations are not met, it is not fulfilled, I get frustrated in life. Correct. More and more frustration happens again and again and again. You again and again you meet with more and more frustration, more and more disappointments comes in life. More you get disappointed, you would not know what to do with it. That is a point where you turn to philosophy and say, correct, expectations are not correct in life. So what you should do, either drop those expectations or lower your expectations. Now passively we try to reconcile with it. As a result of your expectations are not being met. Therefore, if you see in your life what you are doing, all your efforts have been in the direction of meeting your expectations, fulfilling your expectations. Now, when you fulfill your expectations, what happens? It is a very interesting phenomenon to observe. First thing you experience when your expectations are met is life gets bored. All your expectations met. Imagine your wife were to behave exactly as you expected her. What will happen? Imagine all your children get marks exactly as you expected. It's not. See, but at the same time, what is keeping our life interesting is something is not getting met. You see, when it is not met, that unknown is what is keeping it interesting and going. You see, like when you read, Sidney Sheldon, what is interesting in that, sir? Because you don't know who is the villain, who has committed the crime, who is that murderer. Now you go on reading. He goes there, you think, this is, and then no, it's not him. Then is it her? No, it's not her. In that, you are keeping that novel interesting. Exactly is what your life is all about. Your life is a novel, continuously going, exploring. But the problem is, when your expectations are not met, somewhere down the line, that disappointments gets too much. So when it gets too much, the disappointments, you move in that direction here. You run in the opposite direction. Because all of us believe in that. What is it, sir? If it is not in this direction, it has to be in the opposite direction. So the solution lies very simple. What? Let me fulfill all my expectations. So once your expectations are started filled up, filling. After that, the person says, my life is bored. Why? Repetition. That same repetition comes. You get bored in life. And then you don't understand what to do. You see, the first problem with expectation is, this is the real problem of expectation. And remember this, you cannot fulfill it, nor can you not fulfill it. You fulfill your expectations, boredom, one problem. Your expectations are not fulfilled, frustration. Now what are you going to do? Okay, is this Ishwaran? Let me do away with expectations. Then life looks so blank. It's like there's nothing interesting in life. Now, you can't do away with expectations. You can neither fulfill it nor unfulfill it. We wonder, what the heaven am I to do with this man? Then we say what? Little expectations fulfilled, little unfulfilled. Little fulfilled, little unfulfilled. So your whole life you are bombarded between two things. Frustration and boredom. Frustration, boredom. Frustration, boredom. Frustration, boredom. It's all that is happening in life. Now, it is the presence of expectations that makes, there are other side effects to it. The first problem is this, boredom or frustration. Another problem with expectations is it makes your personality too serious. The moment you have an expectation, you become serious. You become so tensed in life. You become too result oriented. That is what we see with the batsmen. They come to bat up to 90, 95, smooth flow. His placement is clear. His running between the wickets is superb. His ability to identify the ball, leave the ball, all that is fantastic. But once he comes to 90s, what happens? The god of cricket took 2.5 years to score 1 century. Can you believe? I say, how on earth it is possible? I was there in that Bombay match, where he lost, because we are all expecting him to score that century there. So, in 93 or 97, he got out. It's such a frustrating thing, Why? Because up to 99 centuries, no problem. That 100th 100 is what? Finally, this man has to score that century with Kenya. Hey, why this is the case? What has happened to his game? The moment the person brings that expectations, after that, you start looking for that result orientation. Will I get it? Will I get it? Will I get it? Will I get it? If I'm not get, what will happen? If not, if this, if that, all these thoughts comes together in the mind and clogs the mind and makes you very serious in life. You become too serious. And the seriousness of life is what, sir? The exact opposite you see is Krishna. You see, before his birth itself, his fellow waiting for him to kill him. He is going to be 8th son only. But from the first son onwards, Kamsa started killing. Look at that, precarious condition of this child. As soon as he is born, he has to flee for him to just survive, just to live life. And then he has to kill his own uncle, or his uncle will kill him. Then he kills. After that, is his life fine? No. Series of problems only. Problem. No fault of his. He was dragged unnecessarily into the fight between these two fellows. You see, now he can't take sides of this side or that side. Every situation that he has to face, encounter in his life is life and death. Heavy stake. But look at his life. It's such fun. How is it that he is never sir? Now, that's where we understand this expectations. And you come to relationship, these expectations causes a heavy damage, as it were, because it confuses you completely. And it confuses the other person also completely. Because the moment I say that I start loving you, immediately I start expecting love in return. Isn't it? You see that, no, very simple things. Particularly when you do good things, only these things happens. When you do bad, you will not have any expectations. That is why when you do business, you will not have any expectations. But you do a simple act of charity, see what happens. Imagine you're walking in the crowded street. One fellow, a piece of paper falls off from his book. Just a piece of paper, not money, just a piece of paper. It just fell down. You pick that paper and call that man and hand it over to him. Sir, you missed this paper. And he just takes it from you and walks away without telling thank you. How do you feel? He's not saying thanks. Hey, thanks, man. Maybe it's a significant check also. Who knows? We don't know what is that. Maybe a love letter. Maybe, his appointment letter. Maybe an important contract. Or it can be just a waste paper also. Doesn't make any difference. But you have picked it up and you gave it to this man and he is not even recognizing it. How do you feel? You feel it's okay and walk out? No. You feel what? What nonsense. At least he should have thanked me, no? Okay, he did not reward me for that. He doesn't have to give me an award that he is the most, charitable man in Bangalore. Not necessarily. But at least give a thanks, no? What's your problem, man? These days people are very bad, Even if you help them, they don't even... All these thoughts keeps coming to you. Why? You see, you want that person to thank you. After that, the very act of your genuine charity, service that you have rendered to that person, how did you do it, sir? You expect in return. The problem there is what? It confuses the opposite fellow. When you start expecting love from me, the tragedy is, it is not just that love that I am expecting from you. I expect love to be expressed in a particular way from you. That is where expectations becomes a real problem. Now we are going into philosophy. So far there's no philosophy. Okay. So far there is nothing. It's just all build up only. All stories. Now what is very interesting about expectations is this. Remember the three principles. There are 3 steps to it. The first one is, to me, all my expectations will appear to me fully justified. Remember, I believe my expectations are justful. I am entitled to have those expectations. This is very, very fundamental that I am expecting. Should I not expect that? Is what we will ask. Like this wife always asks. All that I am expecting from my husband is what? Remember the anniversary, no? That is exactly what he will not. And to her it looks what? Should I not expect that? After all, I have done so much. Should I not expect that promotion from the company? Okay, if I have not worked for the company, if I have not struggled, if I have not contributed, I should not be expecting promotion. I should not be expecting increment and all those things. But I have worked. When I have worked, am I not entitled, sir? I feel my expectations are fully justified. Okay. Now comes the second part of life. There is a law of life which says, don't get angry with me. It's not I am saying it. Okay. It's a law. The law of life says your expectations will not be met. Period. This is the advantage of, the Zoom sessions. In live, I can't afford to make this statement and walk out. They think, I am cursing them. It's not curse or anything, please. It's a law. It is a law of life. Your expectations, that one thing that you are expecting from that will not be met. everything else will happen. Husband will remember everything else except that one thing. He will do everything for wife except that one thing that she wants. All that she says is what? Just appreciate my cooking. No. That one thing he will not do. That one direction you give no properly, he will tell wife, she will not do that. All that I want from you is what? Just listen to what I'm saying. That will not happen. You can tell your child, your children, they will not. Everything else they will do. That specific thing that you are expecting them to do, that will not happen. Everything else will happen. Now, it's a stern law of life, please. It doesn't make any difference. It's exactly like fire burns. No matter who puts his finger inside. Even if I put my finger inside, it will burn. It will not say, oh, Ishwaran is such a good fellow, let me spare him. No, fire will burn. Exactly same way, there is a law of life which says your expectations will not be met. Now go back to the previous one. All your expectations looks to you very justful, right? And that is not getting met naturally. So what is the conclusion you will come to about life? Any intelligent man who is observant about life will come to only one conclusion, that life is unjustful. Why? That's all I'm expecting. That is not met. Therefore, I will blame the other party. I expect this from you. You don't do that. According to me, that is a very, very basic thing that I'm expecting from you. When you are not doing that to me, obviously I will feel what? I'll start thinking, what is this, man? You are not able to do this simple thing that I'm asking you to do. Therefore, what are you doing? You are exploiting me. All that relationship comes to is what? Exploitation. Nature is exploiting you. You are exploiting. They are exploiting. So you start blaming everyone around you. You can't escape from that. You will blame. And this is how life will keep on happening. As you keep growing, maturing in life, you start recognizing what? Things will not. But what is interesting is, still you will continue to have those expectations. Why? Because you feel that is, now you come to this understanding. Why you are not able to drop your expectations, sir? Why can't you drop your expectations? You cannot. Why? Because you feel it is justified. You are entitled. Now, how can you drop something which you are entitled? Okay, Ishwaran, you can ask me to drop these unreasonable expectations. You see, correct. You will say what? Ishwaran, all my expectations are reasonable. Unreasonable expectations you ask me to drop, I am willing to drop. But my expectation don't look to my eyes unreasonable. Therefore, how will I drop? I will not drop. But the law of life says what? It will not be met. So where you land? You see? And along with that, we understand the innocuous, the surface expectations will be met. You see that? The deep-rooted expectation, which is that actually I was expecting from that person. Rest are all, skin deep. That skin deep, that peripheral expectations will be met. But the core expectation will not be met in life. Now what to do, sir? That is why we need to explore our expectation. Now in that exploration, what we find is, you go to the root or the genesis of your expectations. From where those expectations are coming up in your life. What is the root? Every expectation has a particular root cause. It's coming from somewhere. Now that root can be coming from 3 different domains. I'm just analyzing it from in terms of time. Okay. If you take time, there are 3 periods of time that we have in life. One, we'll say past. Another one, we'll say present. Third one, we'll say future. Now, don't go into the philosophical implications of that. I'm just saying it as a casual reference. There are 3 levels: past, present, future. Now, just to give some idea for us so that you will remember it easily. Okay. There are 3 major sources. Most of your expectations can be any one of this or combination of this. You would be able to decipher from where it is coming. Okay. Now, the first one we have is our expectations come about based on our past. Based on my past, this is that. Because all my life, I judge without going into this, high funda things, happiness is within this, that, and all those things. To me, happiness is where, sir, when my expectations are met, I'm happy. When my expectations are not met, I'm not happy. This is my simple equation of life as a layman. Right. Now, if I want to be happy, I'm going to be assessing my whole thing based on the expectations. Expectations are coming from where? It comes either from your past. I'll just give an example, then it will become easier. I'll just give a couple of examples for all these 3. Right. Now, the first one is, imagine there are 2 fellows, both of them are earning 50,000 rupees a month. Right. In terms of salary, 50,000, 50,000. Both are getting 50,000 only. But you will see one person is very disappointed, unhappy about it. Another person is so excited about it. Why? Because A started his earnings with 10,000 rupees a month. 1.5 years back, he was earning 10,000 rupees a month. Now he is earning 50,000 rupees a month. So he has moved from 10,000 to 50,000. B started his career with 75,000 rupees a month. Now he has come to 50,000 rupees. Right? Now who will be happy? Even though both are getting 50,000 rupees, A will feel 50,000 something great. But B will feel 50,000 rupees to be what? Now this is where a very interesting phenomenon happens. From this equation, this is a reality of life. Is where you are going to be giving a start. Now comes the message for all of us. As parents, everyone want to give our children a best beginning, isn't it? All of us say, I want my child to have very happy, fulfilled life. Right, one side. On the other side, we all say what? You have to have a great beginning. Now, if he has to sustain his happiness, he has to do what? All the time. See, that's what happens to all of us. You see, when there is a drop in the profit percentage, you get disappointed. It's not that your company is undergoing loss. In the last quarter, your profit is 17%. I'm just saying, there is no, unless you are doing some nakra business, you can't get 17% profit now. It's not easy to get 17%. I'm just saying, 17% profit you got last time. This quarter you got 14% profit. Now, how that fellow feels? See, you got 14% profit actually. But then what happens, sir? Last quarter I got 17. Now, all of us keep on telling our children, and that particularly nowadays we see this. Lot of parents, constantly tell them, what? You are so unique. Every parent is doing that now. You are so unique. You are so special. You are so extraordinary. You are so brilliant. You are so great. All this does what to them psychologically? It builds their expectation. When their expectations are built, their life starts with 75,000 rupees. But from 75, he has to move where? To 1 lakh. Now, if he comes down to 60, if he comes down to 70, he looks at himself as what now? Failure. You see that? Your past accounts. In the past, we have been constantly being told. Now, that doesn't mean go to the opposite. Immediately, what do we do, sir? Okay, Ishwaran, from tomorrow, what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell my child what? You are a useless fellow. You are worthless. You are nothing. No. Immediately don't go to the opposite direction, please. Right? This is what happens to most of us. When I say it's not, immediately go the opposite. Like, we tell people, just because you go to temple doesn't mean you are a bhakta, devotee. What is your understanding? You see one fellow going to temple, immediately you say what? Oh, he's going to temple, therefore he is not a bhakta. Your reasoning is so poor. Remember, converse is not true. Converse need not necessarily be true. So, when we are living our life, all of us have a head start. From where I start, based on that, I refer my current. This accounts for one dimension of it. Then there is another dimension to it. Now, imagine, I'm just giving the same example, extending it in the other side. Imagine a person earning same 50,000 rupees. With 50,000 rupees, you are living in Rtambhara. With 50,000 rupees, you live in Sadashiv Nagar. Now, those who are in Bangalore will understand it straight away. Right. In other cities, I don't know. I don't know. In Calcutta, Alipur, 50,000 rupees a fellow were to have, let's say. In Alipur, with 50,000 rupees, what he will do? He can't pay even to his servants. There. You see. Now, same thing, depending upon neighborhood, isn't it? Who in their presence, you look rich in one way, same amount in the other locality, the same amount you look so poor. That's why a lot of Indians go abroad and earn. Right? When they come to India, they look what? They look very rich here. Why? Because of the, what is that? Money transfer? Huh? What they call? I'm just missing that word.
Change rate.
The value, currency value is different. What is the currency value of India vis-a-vis the currency value of dollar? But then, if you are earning with pounds, what is it, sir? It's even better, isn't it? That's even better. Right? That's more than dollars. Therefore, look, with reference to people here, you look rich. With reference to people there, you look very average. So, your life is dependent not only with reference to what is happening in you. We judge ourselves always, remember, based on the people around us. What is around us? Who is around us? If you earn in this, it's not only relative income, please. It is also relative appearance. That's why you will see always in the movies, along with the heroine, there's a group of friends will be there. You see, heroine always comes with her friends who looks beautiful. They'll never keep a model along with the heroine. You see, they will not keep. Why? It's contrast. You see, in their presence, this person looks so good. That's all it is. So what you expect out of you in life is not purely based on your past alone, please. Your current environment in which you are, the things around you also defines. This is the second factor. Remember, all these factors fuses and creates. It's not any one of them, please. In some cases, it can be directly you can connect to this in the examples. The examples what I'm giving, it's directly connected to that particular. But in your life, it will not work like that. It will work together. It's a chivda, remember. It's not any one of them, please. So it works together. So one, which comes from your past, your head start. Two, it comes from your current environment you are in. In this scenario, what is it, sir? Then there is a third factor also, gives you accounts for that gap between the reality and expectation. There's always a gap. The gap is what is causing problem for us. See, usually the gap is the reality is less to the expectations, or reality is not equal to the expectations. Ishwaran, is it possible that reality equal to expectation in life? Never possible. The third equation will never happen in life. That reality matching my expectations. It will never. It will more or less fit. That's all. But once you stay there for a period of time, you will recognize it is not matching at all. There is a mismatch. Now, what is that mismatch is what we are analyzing from where it is coming now. Another parameter which gives a very important one is your imagination, your visualizations, your ideas could be triggered from many things. Like I give, a classic example is you click in the computer in this, Google and ask for the pictures of Taj Mahal. You see that? I've never seen Taj Mahal in my life. Somebody told me Taj Mahal is beautiful. I say, okay, I want to see. And I go to Google and click. I see the picture. It looks so beautiful. Correct. Same way, I see the heroines in the movie and the magazines. They give photos. You see, we keep the cuttings also. Those photos, posters, blow-ups, we put in the rooms. Keep looking at them and seeing what? Oh, so beautiful they are. So beautiful they are. So beautiful they are. All that. And I actually meet the heroine, which actually happened to me. When I was in Ananda, I met, one heroine from South India. She was there. She was there for 3 days. And she was attending my sessions also. I couldn't recognize. The last day when she was leaving, she said, can we have, dinner? I said, okay, we'll have dinner. So we were having dinner. That is the time she told, who is she? I couldn't believe, is that so? I was about to ask her, are you that person or her sister? Looks so flat, looks so ordinary. But when I see them in that photograph, they look what? So when I see that picture, I see the photograph, and I create a image of that person. Oh, this is how they will look. This is how Niagara Falls will look. This is how Taj Mahal will appear. Why, sir? Because the technology has given so much in that. We see the pictures with the Photoshop, changes the tone, and they give the lighting in an appropriate way, the angle that they take. Professionals, they know exactly how to make them appear like that on that picture. And I feel the person is like that. Today, when I see that person, they don't look anywhere near any one of those things. If you still have a doubt, there is a series of photos are available in the net. With makeup, without makeup, we check in the heroines, right? We get really lost. My God, they look so ordinary. But once the makeup is done, they look. Now, which is the reality to you now? Now, I go to that person based on that imagination. That's what happens to all this marriages, love marriages landing in divorce. Why? Arranged marriages landing in divorce, I can understand. Correct. Because you don't know me, I don't know you. Therefore, suddenly we were put together because of my parents and your parents. Now we are not compatible with each other. Correct. I understand that. Logical. You and me have been together for the last 4 years. After 4 years, we decide to get married. And then we divorce and say what? No, this is not the person you are. You have changed. Why? When I was in love, I had a particular image of yours, imagination. And they did a beautiful research. They found one fantastic, revelation. They inquired about people. They did a statistical study, asking them a question, to ask them to give a reply. Now, Olympics gold medal. 1. No. Now the question is, in Olympics, would you like to get number 2, number 3, or second last? Which one you would prefer? And what is so interesting is, they said, all those people who gave answers, all these athletes, all of them gave, we would like to get silver medal, number 2. All of them. Nobody said we want bronze. No one ticked for we want to come as second last. If not gold, I want silver, number 2. And then they look into the pictures when when they are awarding the medals, they look at the pictures of those people, right? They see the photos. Bronze fellow is so happy than silver. Of course, gold, most of us will focus our eyes only on the gold medal. Now, if we don't focus on the silver or bronze, now they zoom in and they show the faces of the silver and bronze. Silver, bronze, silver, bronze, silver, bronze. In that, they found, so interestingly, all the bronze fellows are so happy than silver. Why? What is the reason? The reason they say is, the silver fellow thinks what? It's to do with the thinking pattern of the silver. Silver thinks the difference between me and the gold is what? Half a second. Right. It's just a half a second. It's just, certain nanoseconds actually nowadays. You see that. It's just a matter of another 1 more minute. I could have, if I would have taken 1 more step, I would be gold medal. Whereas the bronze fellow is not thinking like that. The bronze guy always thinks what, sir? Thank God. The fellow who came forth and me, the difference is what? Now silver also compares. Silver compares with gold and says, I missed it. Bronze fellow compares himself with this. This is what visualization is. You see, which one you are going to visualize? Now you romanticize life. This imagination romanticizes your life to believe this is what it is. So I am cut out for something in future for that. So your romantic thing always will be what? Far above the reality. That imaginations. Now, the best part of life is if you go back and think the happiest moments of your life, if you were to account, which moments are that, sir? The happiest moments is when you stumbled upon things that you have never expected. That's why the first one is so exciting. The second, third, and all is not so exciting. You see, the first one is exciting. Second, third is why? Because when you go for the first time, you didn't expect anything. So look into humor, all jokes, right? In live sessions I give. Now I can't give jokes because I will not even know whether you are reacting to it or not. Right? I give examples of there are 3-4 jokes are there. Very, very interesting. Now I'm not going into that now. But you read any jokes anywhere, what gives that? What is the secret of any humor in life? If you see carefully, a thought pattern will be built. That speaker or the fellow who is writing, he will build a thought. It goes. And you will think that, next step is going to be that. Out of nowhere, he takes off tangent. Right. Now what happens? Write a note about, Rajaram Mohan Roy. Answer, they are very good friends. You won't even register it. What is it, sir? The fellow say, write a note about Rajaram Mohan Roy. This fellow thinks Raja, Ram, Mohan and Roy were very good friends, he says. He thinks there are 4 fellows. You see? Now, it just goes off tangent. You see, you can't even connect. You see that unexpected turn that is happening is the secret of all humor in life. That is why a logician can never be humorous. You know that? Creative. Humor and mathematics will never go together. You need only creative people are humorous. Why? Because they can go off tangent. They don't go linear. You see, in life, if you see, happiness comes only when you have that position. The disposition of happiness is this. Now, how you are going to take it up is in your hands. Now, how do you deal with it, sir? Don't say, I'm not going to have expectations. Don't say, I will strive to fulfill my expectations. Don't come to straight away conclusion that I have to lower my expectations. You see that? These are the 3 things you respond. The moment you discuss about philosophically, about expectations, immediately we say what? Okay, Ishwaran, now what I'm going to do? Don't have any expectations. Or fulfill my expectations. Or lower my expectations. Don't have that much. Have a little expectations. It's okay. Now we always strike a middle path, median in between. Not this much also, that much also we strive. No, it won't work like that. Then how do you deal with your expectations there? Keep that thought aside first. Don't worry about how am I to deal with my expectations. First, try to explore. in exploration, you need to be so daring. You need tremendous courage to explore something, remember, because you don't know what is happening there. It is not like, going for a tourism where it is all already pre-planned. We know as tourists, we go to places. No, it's like walking into a jungle where you explore the jungle. That's it. You have no clue what is in store for you. The way to deal with expectations is only one method. There is no other way. Any other way you go, you will get stuck. Now, if I explore what will happen, Ishwaran, you start exploration, you will know. Don't immediately again you are coming back to what? This one. So I have not opened up, for question answer session, but one question which everybody will ask here is, okay, Ishwaran, you have told us what is the effects of expectations, the genesis of expectations. Now tell us, what are we to do with that? What am I to do? Explore. Take expectation by expectation and start exploring it. Explore it. Explore it. When you explore, whatever comes out, comes out. Don't worry about it. Immediately don't jump to these three conclusions and say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. Then you are not exploring. You are not thinking. Thinking means not towards a conclusion. That's why I titled it, as it came out, rhymey also. Explore your expectations. So it came, nice. But exploration, investigate, process your expectations to find out more you expect, more there is. Therefore, what to do, sir? You say, your life becomes a complex scenario of expectations met, not met, postponed, preponed. So many things can happen. Just flow with that. That's all. Expectations, what you do, sir, is this. Thank you.